Ricardo Azevedo has left his mark on water polo at nearly every level and on nearly every continent, from the Americas to Asia and Europe. As a native of Brazil, Azevedo's journey began as a player for Brazil's national team from 1974 to 1980. When he arrived in the United States, he joined Hall of Famer Ken Lindgren's Long Beach State program and twice earned All-American honors. But he will be most remembered for his impact as a coach. In the early 90s, Azevedo became an integral piece of the U.S. men's national team, serving as an assistant coach for Team USA at the 1996, 2000, and 2004 Olympic Games before becoming head coach of the program in the mid-2000s. Along the way, he made a major impact on high school and collegiate water polo programs in Southern California. In 1998, Azevedo coached Wilson High School in Long Beach to a CIF title. The team featured his son and future Hall of Famer Tony. The following year, he returned to Long Beach State to lead the men's program. Overseas, he was highly sought after. He coached the Chinese women's national team to a 7th place finish at the 2016 Rio Olympics, served as technical director for the Brazilian national team, and built the Italian club RN Camoli into a championship contender. He remains closely involved in the sport today, working alongside his son Tony at water polo camps and clinics, helping to mentor the next generation.
In 1976, the Stanford club team was playing Brazil. United States and Brazil were not going to the Montreal Olympics, so Brazil was looking for some games. He was an outstanding 2-meter man. I can remember the former coach at Stanford, Art Lambert, saying, "That kid had great skills." He warned me about Ricardo before the game started because he had heard about him. And I think in that game, the first time the ball came into set, he uncorked a backhand. Second time the ball came in, he was working for a sweep shot. He drew an exclusion. And then the third time, he had a little bit of a quarter turn. The defense collapsed on him, and then he kicked it out for a goal on the perimeter. So, I mean, he had skills.
My dad's older brother was an Olympic swimmer. My aunt was on the national team for Brazil for basketball, and then my dad obviously played water polo for the Brazilian national team as well. So I knew water polo was always something that he did. It wasn't until he moved from guard at Bosco and became the full-time water polo Spanish and security guard there, and then moved to Wilson the year after, is when we knew that water polo was 100% going to be part of the family. Ricardo and a couple other people started up Beach Swim Club, and obviously, you know, Ricardo was our coach at Long Beach Wilson as well. So the interesting thing is the way he was teaching us at a young age was so different than I think a great majority experienced throughout their time. It was drills with the balls, things that we've gone away from, you know, eye-hand coordination, but making it a game. How many times can you spin the ball? How many times can you kick it with your foot? He has a way about him to keep people engaged, to keep it fun, but also to produce results.
I was fortunate enough to be on his inaugural class at Long Beach State for water polo. And so he walked into a Long Beach State team that was, I think, 28 players, 28 women. And all varying ages, all varying skills, all varying backgrounds, and try to make everyone feel they were part of the team. He definitely brought the best out of his athletes by just taking the time to sit down with them, getting to know them, having children that were similar ages when he came into the college program, and having coached the junior team and the youth teams and the national teams, and having all that diversity. I think that really definitely helped him, and it just made him more compassionate and more empathetic to his athletes, and I think that's the difference.
When I first met Ricardo, I was playing for the junior team, trying to rise up the ranks of the USA system, and he had such a tactical mind when he was coaching that I wanted to take everything in that he was saying, and realized that he was a special coach, and he's proven that throughout his career. I believe he's been coaching for about 47 years, and a lot of people don't know he is the coach that got me to come back and play for the 2008 Olympic Games. I was the last person cut in the 2004 Olympic Games. Thought my career in water polo was over. And then in 2006, he gave me a phone call and said, if we're gonna get back to the podium, you know, he needed a goalkeeper that he could rely on. And he gave me that phone call, and be forever in his debt for believing in me and thinking that I could be the water polo player that I became. And so, Ricardo, I love you for that phone call and believing in me. And it just shows the type of coach you are, that you always believe in your players and you see the best potential out of them. And I really appreciate that.
His work ethic, I think, is a variable. You know, it adjusts to the team he's coaching, which is how he's become so successful over the years. It is so much more about teaching us how to make decisions on the fly, how to make decisions that are based on theory, but also on practice. It's based on him knowing his athletes so well, knowing how to push them to their potential, but also knowing how to strengthen their weaknesses, right? And so when he speaks, people listen, and it's his voice, it's his mannerisms, you know, his little excitements, and everything. So I really feel that he's so talented in the way that he can bring the least experienced player and the most experienced player in one team to have the same goal in mind. And I am so grateful that Ricardo took over the Long Beach program and kind of took me under his wing, and he was like a dad to me.
The greatest thing I think that he's given is his heart and soul to this sport. And you can see how the number of Olympians that he's coached, right? The number of national championships in high school, first off, the number of which is over 17, 18 Olympians that have, you know, started playing water polo with him. And he's also helped so many coaches who are now top level coaches. And, you know, I feel like same as I took a little bit from all my coaches, I think all these coaches took a little bit from my dad.
From age group up to the Olympic team, he knew that he had to make water polo fun. And, you know, if you're coached by him, you were always laughing. And so he's amazing teaching the young athletes tactics, but he's also teaching them at such a high level, which is above their age group, that they're soaking it all in. And I think he's given back so much to water polo.
I'll never forget the joy he had when we won the first championship for Long Beach Wilson after 20-something plus years. For me, the most important thing with him was how he was able to connect with the younger players. You know, his efforts are tireless. He's back working with the young kids after being at national teams all over the world. And that commitment has served our sport so well with the players he's produced and the people he's produced.
I think one of the best compliments you can give a coach is have your kids play for him. My grandson plays for him, and my daughter played for his club team. When you watch these practices, he's the American Brazilian Santa Claus. Then the little kids love him, and the older kids listen. They hang on every word he says, especially when he's talking about being with the ball and working with the ball. And I've had a lot of players go into the Hall of Fame, but I've never had a colleague go in who I was that close to. And I'm just so proud of what he's accomplished. And you know what? He's not going to retire. There's no way. He's going to be on the pool deck and he's going to work with kids.